Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. Sorry for the lack of videos. I feel like it's been ages since I've said this intro. I think the last time I filmed was like a month and a half back. Things have just been crazy busy. Like work is a little bit busy, and also I wanted to take a break in general. We were also trying to, find a place to lease because the lease in our current place is ending. So I wanted to find a bigger place. And yeah, that's why, I just wanted to take a break so that, I can come back with more energy. And I wanted to start off with the foundation review. This is called UOMA Beauty. It's spelled as UOMA. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Let me know in the comments down below if you know how to say it right. By the way, this foundation comes in 51 shades. And it's called their Say What? That's the name of the foundation, by the way. It's supposed to have adjustable coverage. They didn't clearly say like what kind of coverage you're gonna get. On this, it's written as weightless, soft matte hydrating foundation. It's cruelty free. And I looked at the ingredients. This does have alcohol and also perfume listed, but they're not, at the super top of the list, but they're not at the very bottom either. So they're right in between the ingredient list. So keep that in mind if you have sensitive skin. I actually do have sensitive skin, so I hope this doesn't break me out. And the shade that I got is Honey T2W. I'm going to swatch it for you guys so you can see how it looks. So actually the foundation is very runny. You can see that. So this is the shade. Let me swatch it. Oh, this smells like perfume. Like, it is very strong. I really hope this doesn't break me out. So that's the shade. You can actually not even see where I put it. That's how well it blends into my skin. Let me add a little bit more. Yeah, that's the shade. But keep in mind, guys, if you have sensitivity to fragrances, this could be too much for you. Actually, it is too much for me as well, but I'm really hoping that my skin doesn't react in a bad way to it. So on one side of my face, I'm going to use my beauty blender, and on the other side, I'm going to use this Real Techniques Kabuki brush. I want to see how much coverage I get with one layer, and then if I need it, I'll add more. So this is the difference. I feel like it evened out my skin tone beautifully. It feels ultra lightweight on the skin, but this is just one layer, and I felt like I got a coverage that is almost medium. I want to layer a little bit more on this side and see if I can build it up. But for now, I'm going to move on to the right side and use a brush to apply this foundation. Again, I'm going to pump onto the back of my hand. So I had a spot there, you see, like, I think it covered it really well. So let's see how much it covers this spot right here. Actually, not bad. I feel like with brush, I'm getting like, a lot more coverage when compared to the beauty blender, because, the foundation itself is very runny. So I think beauty blender was soaking up a lot of it. But I have to say, I'm loving the finish of this. It looks very natural. It's not overly matte. It just looks like my skin, but better. After like coming back to California, I feel like I'm not tanning at all, which I really miss. In Arizona, I used to have this nice golden tan. And the worst part is the foundations that I bought when I was in Arizona are way too dark. I mean, are at least like a shade or 2 shades darker on me right now. I'm like, there are only few shades that match me perfectly during this winter time. That's a bummer. But that's just how it is. California weather is really good, I have to admit. Except the expenses. Whatever. So I'm going to use my beauty blender and try to layer it in this area to see if I can, completely cover these spots. So I might have to go over with some concealer on those stubborn spots. But, this foundation definitely offers you a coverage that is medium, and you can build it up to be a full coverage, but it's not going to be like, very high coverage on the first layer. You can totally build it up. That's what actually I prefer over a super full coverage foundation. Okay, so I'm done applying the foundation. I feel like I got a pretty good coverage out of it. It's very buildable. I just tapped some foundation onto the blemish that I had using my fingers to get the maximum coverage out of it. and I feel like it covered the blemish really well on the side and even the stubborn one. At this point, I don't feel like I need concealer to spot conceal anymore, but I have to say I really love the finish of this foundation. As soon as I applied it, I was like blown away by it. That's how natural and beautiful it looked. Like I said, it's a very comfortable satin matte finish. It's not overly drying, but at the same time, it's not too dewy either. And since the foundation is very runny, it blends out like a dream. With brush, you obviously get a little bit more coverage. So about the oxidization of this foundation, on my face, I don't see it's changing color anymore. But one thing that I noticed is that as soon as I swatched it on my hand, it slightly turned a little bit warmer. I think it's because of the warmth in my skin. Changes its color a little bit. But that's it. After that, at least till now, I didn't see any change in the color. We'll see throughout the day if it oxidizes on me even more. But at this point, it changes its color right away. But I didn't see any more oxidization after that. Based on first impressions, I really love it. But the only thing that's bothering me is obviously the fragrance and also the alcohol. But fragrance is more bothersome for me than alcohol. That's just a preference. I really hope it doesn't break me out. Let's see. I'm going to apply the rest of my makeup. When I get back, I'm going to tell you guys how everything layered on top. So stay tuned. I'll see you all in a bit. Hey guys, I'm back. I finished the rest of my makeup off camera. I do get a lot of comments asking what makeup I'm usually wearing in these foundation reviews. So I'll just tell you guys right now before I forget myself later on. For lip liner, I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in the shade Hollywood Honey. And for lipstick, I'm using the Huda Beauty Demi Matte Lipstick in the shade Shiro. This is like my favorite nude. And for eyes, I use the Colourpop So Jaded palette. I mostly used this shade for transition. These two on my, lid space and this one in the outer corners. And then I topped it off with this, glimmery shade just to add that slight sheen to my whole eyeshadow look. So that's the whole look. Now let's talk about the foundation more. Actually, it's been already 2.5 hours since I applied this foundation. Right now it's 1:30. I think I started the wear test around 11 o'clock. And I have to say, everything blended out beautifully on top of this foundation. Everything still looks very light. I could layer the concealer and it's not looking cakey or heavy anywhere. These days, I have been doing a really light hand with powders. So I just have some powder to set the concealer in place. But other than that, it's all the foundation and, some bronzer and blush. And this foundation, it feels tacky to the touch. But the weird part is it doesn't transfer. I really like that. It feels hydrating. And if you're someone who don't like that tackiness when you touch your face, I would say definitely set your whole face with the powder. But whereas I don't mind that. So far, I'm really impressed. Even after laying all of the makeup, the foundation still feels very lightweight on the skin. So I'm going to start doing the wet test now. I'll probably keep this foundation on for about 6 to 7 more hours. When I get back, I'm going to share my final thoughts. So yeah, I'll see you all in the evening. Hey guys, I'm back. It's actually almost 8 o'clock right now. 7:42 to be precise. So I've had this foundation on for about 8.5 hours. I applied this first at 11 o'clock and I'm here to share my final thoughts. Let me start off with all the good things. Obviously, the finish is beautiful. It feels very lightweight on the skin. It's not at all drying. It feels like I don't have any foundation on my face. My makeup feels very lightweight today. Trust me. And it usually has a lot to do with what kind of base you have on. So this is a beautiful, lightweight, natural looking foundation which will give you coverage medium, but you can build it up to get more coverage. If you live in hot climate or humid regions where you sweat a lot, this might not be completely sweat proof or transfer proof. So I had to change clothes and you can see that I got like a foundation... I got like a foundation mark on my sweatshirt. These lights are washing me out a little bit. I hope you can see it's right here. But being said that, I didn't use any powder on the rest of my face to set this foundation on. I used a very little bit underneath my eyes, but that's all the powder that I wore today. And it held up pretty well. It might be slightly uncovering my acne spots in this area, but that's not bad given my hair is always on my face all day today. So it might have worn off a little bit. But that would happen with any foundation at this point. I'm not really mad at it. And you can probably see that it's not even settling into my smile lines. I don't even see any oil speaking through at this point. It has stayed pretty matte throughout the day and I didn't do any kind of touch-ups. So all in all, the finish and the way it applied, the way it wore throughout the day, I really love this foundation. But again, this is a foundation that I personally would not like to wear on a day-to-day basis. I don't like to wear foundations with a fragrance that frequently because this actually has a strong scent. I don't smell it right now, but when you swatch it on your hand, you can see that, this foundation has a lot of fragrance. That is something I tend to avoid in my skincare or even in my makeup, especially foundations, because, foundation is the one that is closest to your skin. So it just tends to irritate my skin. So I probably won't reach for this foundation on a day-to-day basis, and it's more of a personal preference. But if you're someone who don't mind, and if you have like a good resilient skin, then you don't have to care about this. This foundation is actually $40. It's close to your high-end foundations like Makeup Forever and all of those. So that completes this video. I hope it was helpful. Let me know in the comments down below what other product reviews you want to see on my channel. It can be new, old, I don't care. As long as you guys want to see it, I'm happy to do a review on it. To be honest, I'm off my game a little bit. I have no idea what new launches have come out because I haven't opened like Sephora website in like a solid month. I just wanted to take a break. I just wanted to use the makeup that I already have because I do have a lot of it. So let me know in the comments down below what new products that interest you that you would like to see my review or my thoughts on. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and also give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I'll see you all in my next one. Bye.